Racing at Sha Tin this Sunday, Twilight Racing, 11 races with a 4 o'clock kickoff, and we're on the turf for all of them. C+3 course is the course that is in use. Joined to preview it all by Paul Ellie and Tom Wood. And Tom, there is a heap of racing.
There is, Mark. We've got Griffins kicking off the program at 4 p.m. and then straight into the main event of the afternoon, which is the Class 1 sprint with only a small field. But there's certainly some nice prospect going around later on. Of course, Zach Purton only 1 win away from Joe Moreira's record, 2 wins away from surpassing it.
And Paul's here as well, and he has a very strong book, Paul.
Yeah, he has and I think Helios Express will probably the best of them, and he's going to start pretty short in race number 10. He'll be odds on. Look, there's a couple of good jackpots as well. 16 million going into the triple trio, and in the last 2 races, $1 million going to the quartet first 4 merge pools.
We can look at race number 1 now, which is the Griffins race, and it lines up this way over the 1200 metres. Cheng Cheng Glory's going up in trip with a good draw. Super Bonus carries the same weight because Angus Chung's taking £7 off after his last start win. Kaying Victory carries an extra 7, wider draw for Holy Lake. Management Hearts had 4 trials, better draw for E-Glory. Ruby Sailing meets Kaying Victory better at the weights, and from barrier number 2, he goes to the 1200 metres. Sonic Boom has a tongue tie going on, Tom.
Yeah, we've got a full field for the Griffins here, a field of 12, and Super Bonus should be able to jump and run with Angus Chung from barrier 6. He travelled strongly in a recent trial to win, and he was a last start race day winner. Kaying Victory should be handy, Ruby Sailing, and then you've got Holy Lake, might be the one that's a little bit awkwardly placed to Paul from barrier 12.
Yeah, he's gone forward in his last couple, so if he tries to do that, he might have to go all the way back rather than race wide. But Management Heart, he's the first starter here, and he's been a slow one in all his trials, so I think he'll be towards the back.
His trial will come up later. Firstly, we're going to go with the race form of Paul, and there's arrows everywhere here, so who are you picking out of this one?
Well, I mean, Super Bonus did win the race. I think he's a legitimate chance as well. Cheng Cheng Glory's a winner and then placed with a couple of thirds. So he's well raced and he runs well. So I don't mind both these two. Holy Lake just worries me from the draw.
Yeah, I haven't got Holy Lake in from that sort of draw here, even though he's been getting better with each and to every start. But Super Bonus is certainly in. I liked his recent trial win as well. And also in this, you've got Cheng Cheng Glory, who made up a bit of ground there towards the inside. I'm not sure about Joyful Prosperity because he's got barrier number 10 here. And his recent barrier trial, he was ridden along a bit in that.
Yeah, he was quite disappointing in that trial after a good debut from him. Now, speaking of debuts, Tom, it was a delayed one for Kaying Victory, but at 1.8, he was too good.
He was, and hacked up here did Kaying Victory. Yes, the margin was only 3/4, but he did seem to certainly have the second horse, Ruby Sailing, covered. He's obviously done well since this. He's put on 23 pounds, and he was over on the far side and was able to win this. But Ruby Sailing's a big hope in this as well, Paul, with the 7-pound pull.
Yeah, he gets a turnaround in weights up to an extra 200 metres as well. I think it's going to suit Ruby Sailing by Star Spangled Banner. And look, he's done really well in his track work. I think he's improved a lot from that run. I think he could upset the favourite. 1.6 is a bit short for a Griffin, I think.
It's a good push from Paul for Ruby Sailing. Now, we've seen Super Bonus, Paul, so he leads and wins in this trial, but Management Heart, he runs on for second, but as you mentioned, the starts haven't been good.
Yeah, look, I think he's going to be one that will be running on for sure, Management Heart. He's 11.51 pounds. He's had the 4 trials, but he's been slow on just about all of them, and cross noseband goes on.
Yeah, I'm actually going to put him in just on the way he's found the line here over the final stage. Yes, the starts have obviously been a concern. His first trial at Chungfa, he was terrible out of the gates. He was a US $100,000 purchase, first for the sire Motown, but I don't think he's the worst here.
All right, Tom keen on the first starting grey Management Heart, and you're going for an upset in the opener, Paul.
Yeah, I think Ruby Sailing, I'm going to make him the best, because if he comes up a decent price, he's like 12-1 at the moment. I think he'll start near that. But if he does, I think he's a good bet to beat Kaying Victory. So 10 to beat 3. I mean, obviously, Kaying Victory is the one that's tough to beat. So Super Bonus, that trial was very good from him, and Cheng Cheng Glory's been really consistent. 10, 3, 2, 1.
I think the favourite's going to be the one to beat here. There was a lot of wraps on him prior to his debut, and then, of course, he played up in the gates, and then that setback, he had a few little issues, and he came back and won first up really well. So Kaying Victory over Ruby Sailing, who never threw it away at all last time out. Super Bonus, the other one, and Management Heart needs to be on his best behaviour at the start, but like the way he finished off in that trial. So 3, 10, 2 and 7.
And that is the preview for race number 1, the Griffins, underway at 4 o'clock.